Riddle 2. Is God the source of reality, or the name we give its deepest mystery? Here's the 3-minute answer. I believe God is the source and ultimate reality, not simply a label pasted over whatever I do not understand. But belief is not the same as proof, and the word God has carried many meanings through human history. Some people understand God as a personal creator who knows and loves. Others speak of the ground of being, Brahman, the Tao, sacred presence, or an order deeper than the visible world. Naturalists see no need to place anything beyond nature. Agnostics may decide that the evidence does not justify certainty either way. Science can investigate the universe's patterns, history, and causes. It cannot place every possible meaning of God inside a laboratory test, especially if God is understood not as an object within reality, but as its source. That does not prove God. It means the question crosses science, philosophy, experience, and faith. My short answer is therefore personal and provisional. I use God to name the reality I trust is deeper than all temporary realities. The word opens the mystery for me. It should never be used to end honest questioning for someone else. The name and the mystery. Words are handles. They let us carry ideas that would otherwise be too large, slippery, or complex to hold. But a handle is not the thing itself. The word God can point toward the creator of the universe, the source of moral value, a loving presence, the reason anything exists, or the hope that reality is finally meaningful. It can also carry inherited fear, political authority, childhood memory, cultural identity, and disappointment. Two people may argue about God while imagining very different things. That is why I must begin by asking what I mean. I do not imagine an elderly human figure living somewhere beyond the stars. My spiritual view is closer to ultimate reality, the source within which matter, time, consciousness, and every possibility exist. I use the seventh dimension as a metaphor for that completeness. It is not a claim from physics. Even this language is a carving. It gives shape to what I believe, but it cannot contain what it tries to describe. What can reason honestly claim? Philosophers have offered many arguments for God. Cosmological arguments ask why contingent things exist and whether they depend upon a necessary source. Design arguments point to order, fine-tuning, or the intelligibility of nature. Moral arguments ask whether objective value requires a foundation beyond preference. Arguments from religious experience ask whether recurring human encounters with the sacred should count as evidence. Each argument has serious critics. Perhaps reality is simply a brute fact. Perhaps apparent design can arise through physical law, selection, and chance. Perhaps morality grows from conscious needs, relationships, and social life. Perhaps religious experiences are powerful events generated by brains, cultures, or expectations. None of those objections automatically disproves God. None of the arguments automatically proves God either. Their value is that they clarify what would have to be true, what assumptions we are making, and where reason reaches its limits. I am wary of two easy moves. The first is, science has not explained this, therefore God did it. Gaps in knowledge often close. A God confined to those gaps becomes smaller whenever understanding grows. The second is, science explains a mechanism, therefore there is no deeper reality. Explaining how a clock works does not settle why it was made, whether it matters, or what kind of reality can produce makers who care about time. The human inheritance is wider than a single Western debate between a creator God and atheism. Hindu traditions speak in different ways of Brahman, the deepest reality. Taoist thought warns that the Tao that can be fully named is not the enduring Tao. Buddhist traditions often redirect attention from a creator question toward suffering, impermanence, and awakening. Indigenous traditions are diverse, but many emphasize relationship among land, life, ancestors, and spirit, rather than a detached universe of objects. These traditions are not interchangeable, and I do not want to flatten them into everyone means the same thing. They disagree about personhood, creation, selfhood, revelation, and what liberation requires. Yet together they remind me that humanity has repeatedly reached toward an ultimacy that ordinary language cannot comfortably contain. Naturalism belongs in this conversation too. A naturalist may experience wonder, moral commitment, and belonging without believing in a transcendent source. That possibility prevents me from claiming that care, creativity, or awe belongs only to believers. I choose the word God because mystery alone can feel impersonal. God expresses my trust that the depth of reality is not indifferent to consciousness, love, suffering, and creation. I cannot demonstrate that trust with an equation. I can only test what it asks of me. A belief worthy of keeping should make me more honest, compassionate, and responsible, not more certain of my superiority. If my idea of God excuses cruelty, silences evidence, or reduces other beings to tools, then whatever I am worshipping has become too small and too much like me. This is where my work as a maker matters. When I carve wood, I work with something I did not create. Grain, strength, damage, history, and possibility are already present. I choose a form, but I remain accountable to the material and to what my cuts remove. My relationship with reality feels similar. I participate in creation. I do not own its source. Ideas about God do not remain private for long. They shape laws, communities, loyalties, exclusions, acts of service, and sometimes violence. Disbelief can also harden into certainty and contempt. The danger is not belief or unbelief by itself. The danger is using either one to stop listening, stop learning, or stop recognizing another being's dignity. In a world of loud certainty, intellectual humility is practical. It gives us room to cooperate across belief, doubt, and difference. We do not need identical metaphysics to protect a child, feed a neighbor, preserve a forest, restrain a weapon, or build technology that serves life. My faith gives me a reason to care for all beings. It does not give me permission to force my metaphors upon them. If God is ultimate reality, then truth cannot be threatened by honest questions, and compassion cannot be optional. A name can guide me toward mystery without giving me ownership of it. I can say God with conviction and still leave room for doubt, discovery, and other ways of seeing. Humility does not weaken belief. It keeps belief from becoming an idol made in my own image. If my understanding of ultimate reality does not enlarge my care for the realities other beings must live inside, what exactly is it for?